Anxiety. Many people don't even realize that they are anxious. Let us talk about that a bit. And we have to understand anxiety to know why this happens. Anxiety is a survival response to threats, and it has served us very well during the time when our ancestors lived in caves, wherein the threats were very physical. Tiger is coming, hide, so on. Fast forward to present times, and what has happened is the threats have become a bit more abstract. Many a times these threats are some things that we have made up in our mind. Thus, these threats do not go away, and we keep thinking about them, constantly freezing ourselves into the fight or flight mode, or rather constantly being in the fight, flight or freeze mode. To understand anxiety a bit more, we have to understand what are the cognitive or the thought components of anxiety. There are basically three. The first is there is an apprehension of a future event. That is, anxiety is always future fear based. Second, this future event is going to harm yourself, your self-worth or your self-esteem. And third and most important is that we grossly underestimate our ability to deal with these three things. And thus we get an emotion which we call as anxiety. Anxiety is a needed emotion at times, but it can get unhealthy very fast, and it can range from a mild anxiety which happens to you periodically, or it can go on to be full-fledged medical disorders. Just being aware of these components at times can thwart your anxiety. That is, you realize as to what is happening to you. But there are times when you need to be aware as to when you need to seek help for your anxiety. So there are physical symptoms, that is excessive sweating, palpitation, shortness of breath, and this hampers you in your working. That is when the physical symptoms are severe enough to warrant seeking of help. Then there are cognitive symptoms, that is memory loss, issues with focusing, frequent distractions. These are the cognitive symptoms for which you may be required to seek help. After which comes constant worrying or stress. That is, if you have been facing anxiety for some time now, you might have internalized it and you're constantly worrying about future as to what will happen, and this is making you in turn dysfunctional, not being able to work. Another thing when you should seek help for anxiety is when you are procrastinating or avoiding your work. You are anxious about the results of your work, and thus you want to either not do that work or you avoid doing that work till the time it doesn't become imperative. In short, you are still again dysfunctional. Lastly, if you have ever experienced a panic attacks at times can feel just like as if you are having a heart attack. So it is very important to seek medical help and figure out the difference, that this is a panic attack, what to do for it versus what is a heart attack. And these are the things that you should seek medical help for. To summarize, we can say, ask yourself the question, hey, can I deal with this without letting it affect me? If you can, fine, it is healthy anxiety. But if anxiety is interfering with your working, your social connections, your relationships, then probably it is time for you to seek help and do something about your anxiety. CBT is the first line of treatment in most cases of anxiety. For acute anxiety, you may visit a doctor, a psychiatrist, and you may be prescribed anti-anxiety medications. And depending on the severity, you will have to take them for a while. But for long-term control of anxiety, it is recommended that you go through a proper CBT therapy. If you have any more questions about anxiety, feel free to drop in a comment or write to me right here and we can talk. Thank you.